Welcome back, everyone. Today, let's explore the heart of Central Asia, Uzbekistan. From its ancient Silk Road heritage to some seriously mind-blowing facts, this country is full of surprises. We're talking stunning mosques, deserts that are turning into seas, and enough gold to make a drag queen blush. So, buckle up for 20 fascinating Did You Knows about Uzbekistan that'll have you booking a flight faster than you can say Plov. Right. First up, let's talk geography, darling. Uzbekistan is one of only 2 double-landlocked countries in the world. That means it's surrounded by countries that are also landlocked. Talk about being deep in the heart of the continent. And speaking of history, did you know that one of their cities is even older than Rome? Samarkand, this legendary Silk Road city, has been around for over 2,750 years and was once one of the world's greatest centers of trade, culture, and science. Now, let's talk about the important things in life. Carbs and fashion. First up, bread. In Uzbekistan, they don't just love bread, they worship it. They have a door-to-door bread delivery tradition. Local bakeries deliver freshly baked, golden loaves of naan, their traditional bread, right to your doorstep. Imagine waking up to the smell of fresh bread every morning. And speaking of fabulous things arriving at your doorstep, Uzbekistan also produces some of the world's finest silk. Marjalan, in particular, is famous for its handmade silk ikat fabrics. Imagine swanning around in one of those beauties. It's the kind of fabric that whispers luxury, darling, not shouts it. Now, let's talk food, because darling, Uzbeks know how to throw a feast. Their national dish? Plov. This rice dish with meat, carrots, and spices is a national obsession, and trust me, it's delicious. They even have a whole festival dedicated to it. But hold on to your hats, because Uzbekistan is a land of contrasts. We go from a festival celebrating rice to a desert that's turning into a sea. The Kyzylkum Desert is now dotted with man-made lakes, thanks to innovative irrigation projects. Now, let's talk about bling. In Uzbekistan, they take the phrase golden smile quite literally. In rural areas, gold teeth are a symbol of beauty and status. Some even wear them as a kind of savings account. And speaking of gold, did you know that Uzbekistan has the 4th largest gold reserves in the world? Their Murantau mine is one of the largest open-pit gold mines on Earth. It's so big, you can practically see it from space. Now, let's pause for a cuppa, because in Uzbekistan, you'll never be without tea. Tea is more than a drink, it's a way of life. Whether you're in a home, a market, or a roadside cafe, tea is always flowing. And don't even think about refusing a cup, darling. It's considered rude. But hold on to your teacups because things are about to get artsy. Forget the Louvre, darling. Tashkent's metro stations are works of art. Each station is uniquely designed with stunning mosaics, chandeliers, and marble walls. Now, for a moment of reflection. Uzbekistan is also home to a stark reminder of the power of nature and the consequences of human actions. The Aral Sea, once one of the world's largest lakes, has almost completely dried up due to Soviet-era irrigation projects. It's a sobering sight, but efforts to restore it are underway. But let's not dwell on the sad stuff, darling. It's time to celebrate. Uzbeks celebrate Navruz, the Persian New Year, with gusto. This festival marks the arrival of spring with feasts, music, and dancing. And of course, no Navruz celebration is complete without Symbolic, a special wheat-based dish that's cooked overnight with much fanfare. Now, let's step back in time, shall we? The ancient city of Khiva is like an open-air museum. Walking through its walled old town, Ichan Kala, feels like stepping back in time to the Silk Road era. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site for a reason, darling. And if that's not enough history for you, Uzbekistan has over 4,000 archaeological sites. From ancient fortresses to Silk Road relics, history buffs will feel like kids in a candy store here. Now, let's talk about the Uzbek people. They're known for their warm hospitality and have the loveliest greeting tradition. When meeting someone, it's common to touch your heart with your right hand and give a warm smile. It's their way of saying, "Welcome with all my heart." And speaking of hearts and warmth, Uzbekistan's national fruit is the pomegranate. This fruit symbolizes abundance and prosperity and is often gifted during celebrations. Forget apples, darling. Pomegranates are the way to go. Now, let's have a quick history lesson, shall we? Uzbekistan's flag is a thing of beauty, darling, and full of symbolism. The crescent represents Islam, while the 12 stars stand for the 12 regions of the country. The green, white, and blue symbolize nature, peace, and water. And speaking of historical wonders, Bukhara is one of the oldest cities in the world. It's been continuously inhabited for over 5,000 years and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's like stepping into a time machine. Prepare to be amazed, because Uzbekistan's architecture will leave you speechless. The intricate tile work of the Registan in Samarkand is a masterpiece of Islamic art and design. Pictures don't do it justice, darling. You have to see it to believe it. And finally, let's talk about Uzbek hospitality. It's legendary. If you're invited to someone's home, expect to be treated like royalty, with a table overflowing with food and endless cups of tea. It's enough to make you want to move in. So, there you have it, darling. 20 fascinating facts about Uzbekistan that are sure to impress at your next Zoom quiz night. From ancient cities to golden smiles, Uzbekistan is a country that will capture your heart and leave you wanting more. Who knew a country with such a tricky name could be so fabulous? So, what did you think? Which fact surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more amazing content. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.